Vegeta flew through the air like a dark purple comet and smashed into Jiren. The sound was like a bomb going off. The entire arena shook. The ground under their feet cracked and broke into a million pieces. Dust and rocks flew everywhere. Vegeta's fist was pressed against Jiren's crossed arms. Jiren did not move. Jiren stood there like a mountain that could not be moved. Vegeta screamed and pushed harder. His muscles grew bigger. The purple aura around him burned hot and wild. It was not like the blue energy he used to have. The blue energy was calm. This purple energy was angry. It wanted to eat everything. It crackled and snapped like a whip. Jiren looked at Vegeta with his big round eyes. He did not look scared. He looked bored. Jiren pushed his arms out. A wall of invisible force hit Vegeta. Vegeta flew back and crashed into a giant rock. The rock exploded into dust. Vegeta did not stay down. He jumped out of the dust instantly. He was laughing. There was a scratch on his forehead and blood was running down his face. He wiped the blood with his thumb and looked at it. He smiled a crazy smile. He said that this was what he wanted. He wanted pain. He wanted a challenge. Beerus had told him that a destroyer uses everything as fuel. Even pain is fuel. Vegeta felt the sting of the cut on his head. Instead of feeling weak, he felt the anger rise up. The anger turned into power. His energy spiked higher. He flew at Jiren again. He threw a punch at Jiren's face. Jiren dodged it by moving his head just 1 inch. Vegeta threw a kick. Jiren blocked it with his knee. They moved so fast that the other fighters could not see them. They only saw purple and red flashes of light crashing into each other. Goku was watching from a few hundred feet away. He was in his Super Saiyan Blue form. He felt useless. He wanted to help Vegeta, but he could not get close. The pressure coming from Vegeta was too heavy. It felt like the air had turned into lead. Goku looked at his own hands. He remembered how Whis tried to teach him Ultra Instinct. He tried to clear his mind. He tried to relax. But every time he closed his eyes, he felt the scary power of Vegeta. It was distracting him. It was hard to be calm when your friend was turning into a monster. Goku decided he could not just watch. He had to try. He flew towards the fight. He shouted Vegeta's name. He said they should attack together. Vegeta heard Goku. He did not look happy. He stopped punching for a second and looked at Goku. His eyes were cold. There was no friendship in them. Vegeta yelled at Kakarot to go away. He raised his hand and blasted a wave of purple energy at Goku. Goku was shocked. He crossed his arms to block. The blast hit him and knocked him far away. Goku tumbled across the ground. He stood up and looked at Vegeta with wide eyes. Vegeta had attacked him. They were on the same team, but Vegeta did not care. Vegeta turned his back on Goku and focused on Jiren again. He said that he did not need a weakling to get in his way. He said that relying on others was for the weak. Only the strong stand alone. Jiren spoke then. His voice was deep and strong. He told Vegeta that his heart was empty. He said that Vegeta was just a beast looking for violence. Jiren said that strength came from a desire to protect justice. Vegeta spat on the ground. He said justice was a lie. He said that in the end only the person standing on top decides what is justice. Vegeta charged up a ball of destruction energy in his hand. It made a high-pitched screaming sound. He threw it at Jiren. Jiren punched the ball. The ball exploded. The force of the explosion pushed all the other fighters back. On the other side of the arena, Frieza was watching. He was fighting a warrior from Universe 2, but he was not paying attention. He was staring at Vegeta. Frieza's tail was twitching nervously. He remembered the feeling of that energy. It was the energy of a god of destruction. Frieza hated that energy. He remembered when Toppo and the other gods used it, but seeing it come from a Saiyan made him feel sick. Frieza clenched his teeth. He had always thought of Vegeta as a servant. Even when Vegeta got strong, Frieza thought he was better. But now, Vegeta had something Frieza did not have. Frieza felt a sharp pain of jealousy in his chest. He whispered that he would not let a monkey become a god before him. He decided to stay away from Vegeta for now. He did not want to get erased by accident. Beerus was sitting in the spectator stands. He was leaning forward with a big grin on his face. He was eating a stick of meat, but he stopped chewing. He watched Vegeta take a heavy punch to the stomach. Vegeta coughed up spit, but he did not fall. Vegeta grabbed Jiren's arm and headbutted him. Beerus laughed loudly. He slapped his knee. He shouted that this was how a destroyer fights. He told the other gods to look closely. He said that his student was better than all of them. The Supreme Kai Shin looked worried. He asked Beerus if Vegeta was losing his mind. He said Vegeta looked like he was in a trance. Beerus told Shin to be quiet. He said that to gain ultimate power, you have to lose your mind a little bit. You have to forget who you were to become what you are meant to be. Back in the ring, the fight was getting more brutal. Vegeta's armor was shattered. The chest piece was gone. His blue suit was ripped. His body was covered in bruises. One of his eyes was swollen shut. But his energy was twice as big as when he started. Every time Jiren hit him, Vegeta's aura flared up brighter. It was the power of Ultra Ego starting to wake up. Vegeta did not know the name Ultra Ego yet, but he was using the principle. Damage equals power. He liked the pain. It reminded him that he was alive. It reminded him of all the battles he had lost. It reminded him of Cell and Boo and Black. He took all that shame and burned it in the fire of his anger. Jiren was starting to get annoyed. He had hit Vegeta with enough power to knock out anyone else. But Vegeta kept standing up. Jiren decided to use more power. His red aura exploded outwards. It looked like a raging fire. The heat was intense. The rocks around Jiren melted into lava. Jiren moved faster than time. He appeared behind Vegeta. He chopped Vegeta on the neck. Vegeta fell to his knees. His vision went blurry. He gasped for air. Jiren stood over him. Jiren raised his hand to finish the job. He was going to blast Vegeta off the stage. Suddenly, time stopped. Everything froze. The dust in the air stopped moving. The sound of the battle went silent. Hit from Universe 6 appeared. He had used his time skip technique. Hit was the legendary assassin. He saw that Jiren was distracted by Vegeta. He thought this was his chance to knock Jiren off. Hit aimed a punch at Jiren's chest. His fist glowed with purple light. He put all his strength into this one punch. He thought he had him. But Jiren's eyes moved. Jiren was so strong that he could overpower time itself. Jiren glared at Hit. The time skip broke like glass. The world started moving again. Jiren caught Hit's fist. Hit looked surprised. He tried to pull back, but Jiren held him tight. Jiren told Hit that assassin tricks would not work on absolute strength. Jiren threw Hit away. Hit landed on his feet and slid back. He prepared to attack again. Vegeta stood up slowly. He was shaking. He looked at Hit. He was furious. He yelled at Hit. He asked why Hit interfered. He said this was his prey. He said he did not ask for help. Hit looked at Vegeta calmly. Hit said that they were in a tournament. The goal was to win. It did not matter who beat Jiren as long as he fell. Vegeta did not accept this logic. To Vegeta, this was personal. It was not about the tournament anymore. It was about proving he was the strongest. Vegeta pointed his hand at Hit. He threatened to erase Hit if he came closer. Hit narrowed his eyes. He realized Vegeta was dangerous to everyone right now. While they were arguing, Jiren attacked both of them. Jiren fired a barrage of energy blasts. They rained down like red meteors. Vegeta and Hit had to dodge. They jumped in opposite directions. The explosions tore up the arena floor. There was barely any flat ground left. It was all jagged rocks and deep holes. Vegeta landed on a pillar of rock. He breathed heavy. He looked down at his hands. They were trembling, not from fear, but from excitement. He felt the destruction energy flowing through his veins. It felt like hot poison. It was painful, but it made him feel invincible. Far away on the other side of the stage, Kaba was watching. Kaba was the young Saiyan from Universe 6. He looked up to Vegeta as his master. He saw Vegeta covered in dark energy. He saw how cruel Vegeta was acting. Kaba felt sad. He remembered the Vegeta who taught him about Saiyan pride. That Vegeta was tough, but he had honor. This Vegeta looked like a demon. Kaba wanted to help his master. He thought maybe Vegeta was lost in the power. Kaba turned Super Saiyan 2. Sparks of electricity surrounded him. He flew towards Vegeta. Kaba landed on the rock next to Vegeta. He called out to him. He said, "Master Vegeta, please calm down." He said that this power was eating him up. He said they should fight together with honor. Vegeta turned his head slowly. He looked at Kaba. For a second, Kaba thought he saw recognition in Vegeta's eyes. But then the look turned cold. Vegeta asked Kaba who he was. He said he had no students. He said the weak teach the weak. A destroyer has no need for students. Kaba was heartbroken. He stepped back. He said that Vegeta promised to visit planet Sadala. He promised to meet the king. Vegeta laughed. It was a harsh sound. He said planet Sadala meant nothing to him. He said the past meant nothing. He raised his hand. He pointed his palm at Kaba. A purple circle of light formed. Kaba froze. He could not believe his master was going to attack him. Vegeta told Kaba to jump off the stage or be destroyed. He gave him 3 seconds. 1, 2. Kaba did not move. He was too shocked. Vegeta did not hesitate. He fired the blast. It was a Hakai blast. It was not full power because killing was against the rules, but it was strong enough to erase armor and break bones. Kaba screamed. He tried to block, but the blast smashed through his guard. It hit him in the chest. Kaba flew backwards across the sky. He was unconscious before he hit the edge of the barrier. He fell out of the ring and appeared in the spectator bench. He was burned and hurt. Champa, the god of Universe 6, yelled in anger. He asked what was wrong with Vegeta. He shouted that Vegeta attacked a boy who looked up to him. Vegeta did not even watch Kaba fall. He turned back to the center. He did not care. He had cut off his emotions. He had destroyed the part of him that cared about others. That was the price of this power. Beerus had said he must destroy his attachments. Kaba was an attachment, so Vegeta cut him loose. Deep down in a small corner of his mind, Vegeta felt a pinch of regret. But the roaring fire of the destruction energy quickly burned it away. He told himself it was necessary. If he lost, they would all die anyway. Being nice would not save the universe. Only power would save the universe. Goku saw what happened to Kaba. He was angry now. He flew back to Vegeta. He landed in front of him. Goku shouted at Vegeta. He asked how he could do that. He said Kaba was his friend. Vegeta looked at Goku with dead eyes. He said he has no friends. He has only rivals and obstacles. He told Goku to get out of his face before he blasted him too. Goku clenched his fists. He powered up. Blue aura flared around him. He used the Kaioken. The red aura mixed with the blue. He yelled that he would stop Vegeta if he had to. For a moment, it looked like Goku and Vegeta were going to fight each other instead of Jiren. The tension was electric, but then a giant shadow fell over them. Toppo had returned. Toppo was angry. His uniform was torn from Vegeta's earlier attack. Toppo saw Vegeta acting like a villain. Toppo believed in justice. He believed evil must be punished. Toppo decided he would stop holding back too. Toppo closed his eyes. He made a decision. He decided to cast aside his own ideals for a moment to save his universe. A dark purple aura began to surround Toppo too. It was the same energy Vegeta had. Toppo was also a candidate for God of Destruction. Toppo's body grew larger. His skin turned darker. Patterns of purple light appeared on his chest. He opened his eyes and they were glowing purple. He looked at Vegeta. He said that if Vegeta wanted to play God, he would show him what a real God looked like. Toppo charged at Vegeta. He moved instantly. He grabbed Vegeta's face with his giant hand. He slammed Vegeta into the ground. He dragged Vegeta through the rock floor. Vegeta kicked and struggled. He fired a blast at Toppo's stomach, but Toppo's aura just erased the blast. Toppo was in his God of Destruction mode. His Hakai barrier protected him from everything. Toppo threw Vegeta into the air. He fired a Justice Flash, but this time the blasts were purple destructive energy. Hundreds of them hit Vegeta. Vegeta screamed in pain. The blast burned his skin. They tore at his spirit. He fell to the ground hard. He lay there smoking. Toppo landed next to him. Toppo said that Vegeta was an amateur. He said Vegeta was just a beginner using a power he did not understand. Toppo raised his foot to stomp on Vegeta, but Vegeta grabbed Toppo's foot. Vegeta's hand was shaking, but his grip was tight. Vegeta looked up. His face was a mess. One eye was completely swollen shut. His lip was split, but his other eye was burning with a violet light. He growled. He said he was the Prince of all Saiyans. He said he did not need to understand the power. He just needed to rule it. Vegeta's aura exploded again. This time it was massive. It shot up into the sky like a pillar. It pushed Toppo back. Vegeta stood up. The ground melted under his boots. His hair seemed to turn a darker shade of purple. His eyebrows disappeared. His face looked more primal, more like a monkey. He roared. The sound was not human. It sounded like a great ape. He rushed at Toppo. He punched Toppo in the face. This time Toppo felt it. Toppo stumbled back. Vegeta did not stop. He punched again and again. He did not dodge. When Toppo hit him, Vegeta just took it and hit back harder. It was a slugfest. Two destroyers trading blows. Goku watched in awe. He had never seen power like this. He realized that Vegeta had gone to a place he could not reach yet. Goku felt a strange mixture of pride and sadness. His best friend was becoming something else, something terrifying. Meanwhile, the tournament clock was ticking down. The giant pillar in the center was sinking. There was less time left. Other fighters were getting knocked out. Androids 17 and 18 were fighting carefully. Piccolo was protecting Gohan. They could all feel the massive energy from Vegeta and Toppo. It was shaking the whole world of void. The Grand Priest looked at the time. He smiled. He said that things were getting interesting. Vegeta and Toppo locked hands. They were pushing against each other. Their auras were clashing. Purple lightning sparked between them. The sheer pressure was cracking the dimension. The sky began to change colors. It turned green and black. Vegeta leaned in close to Toppo's face. He whispered. He told Toppo that his justice was boring. He said that destruction was freedom. Vegeta headbutted Toppo again. Crack. Toppo's nose broke. Toppo roared in anger and blasted Vegeta point blank in the chest. Vegeta flew back, but he flipped in the air and landed on his feet. He slid backwards, leaving two trails of fire. Vegeta wiped his mouth. He was breathing very hard. His chest heaved. He felt lightheaded. He had lost a lot of blood, but the power was still there. It was singing in his blood. He looked at Jiren, who was standing in the distance watching them. Jiren had his arms crossed again. Jiren was waiting. He was waiting for the winner. Vegeta knew he had to beat Toppo quickly to get back to Jiren. Vegeta gathered all his energy. He decided to use his signature move, but with a twist. He spread his arms wide. He charged a final flash, but it was not yellow. It was dark purple. The electricity around it was black. He screamed, "Final destruction!" He fired the massive beam at Toppo. The beam was huge. It consumed everything in its path. Toppo fired his own destruction ball to counter it. The two attacks met in the middle. They pushed back and forth. It was a struggle of will. Vegeta poured everything he had into the beam. He thought about his pride. He thought about being always second best. He screamed, "I am not second best." He pushed more power. The beam grew larger. It began to push Toppo's attack back. Toppo looked shocked. He could not believe the Saiyan had this much raw power. Vegeta's beam overwhelmed Toppo. It hit him. The explosion was blinded. A giant mushroom cloud of purple energy rose up. When the smoke cleared, Toppo was kneeling on the ground. His shirt was gone. He was covered in burns. He was panting. He looked at Vegeta with respect and fear. He had lost the clash. Vegeta stood tall. He was exhausted, but he did not show it. He walked towards Toppo to finish him off. But then he stopped. He felt a chill. He looked to his right. Jiren was there. Jiren had decided he had seen enough. Jiren moved instantly. He appeared in front of Vegeta. He punched Vegeta in the gut. This punch was different. It was heavier than anything before. Vegeta's eyes bulged out. He coughed up blood. He fell to his knees. Jiren looked down at him, cold and emotionless. Jiren said, "Sleep, warrior." Jiren raised his hand to blast Vegeta out. Vegeta tried to move, but his body would not obey. He was paralyzed by the pain. Was this the end? Was he going to fail again? No. He refused. He bit his tongue. The pain woke him up. He forced his legs to move. He stood up shaky and weak. Jiren looked surprised. He did not expect Vegeta to stand. Vegeta smiled through his bloody teeth. He said, "I told you. I am the prince." His aura flared one last time. It was smaller now, but much denser. It was almost black. He was ready to die fighting. Suddenly, a green beam spiraled in and hit Jiren's shoulder. It did not hurt Jiren, but it got his attention. It was Piccolo. Piccolo had fired a special beam cannon from far away. Piccolo yelled, "Goku now!" Goku charged in with Kaioken X20. He kicked at Jiren. Jiren blocked it. The team was rallying. They were trying to save Vegeta. But Vegeta did not want saving. He hated it. He swatted Goku away again. He yelled, "Stay out of this, Kakarot!" Vegeta was delirious. He was running on pure instinct now, destructive instinct. He swung wildly at Jiren. Jiren dodged easily. Jiren hit Vegeta in the face. Vegeta spun around and fell. He hit the ground face first. He did not move. The purple aura flickered and went out. Beerus stood up in the stands. He gripped the railing. He yelled, "Get up, Vegeta! Don't you dare lay down!" But Vegeta lay still. The audience went silent. Had the prince fallen? Then his finger twitched. The ground began to rumble. A low hum started to vibrate through the arena. It was a deep, scary sound. The pebbles around Vegeta's body started to float. They turned to dust. The dust turned to nothing. A new aura began to leak out of Vegeta's body. It wasn't just on the outside anymore. It was coming from his pores. It was a deep royal violet. Vegeta slowly pushed himself up. His eyes were blank white, no pupils. He had lost consciousness, but his body was still fighting. The power of destruction had taken over completely. He was a vessel of pure ruin. He let out a scream that sounded like 1,000 demons. The energy exploded outwards, clearing the entire half of the stage. Even Jiren had to brace himself against the wind. Vegeta stood up. He looked different. His muscles were swollen. His brow was heavy. He looked like a primal beast. He turned his blank eyes toward Jiren. He did not speak. He just vanished. He reappeared instantly with his fist buried in Jiren's stomach. Jiren gasped. His eyes went wide. He actually felt pain. Vegeta had broken through Jiren's defense. The gods in the stand stood up in shock. The Grand Priest leaned forward. This was something new. This was a mortal reaching the state of a god in the rawest form. Vegeta pulled his fist back and roared. He was ready for round 2. And this time, he felt no pain. He felt nothing but the need to destroy. To be continued in episode 3.